Imzaia, welcome in your space. Welcome in your transitory period, and welcome in this moment. We are the 12, and we greet you with all the love that exists within all of creation. So let's begin. The start of January 2007, as it is with any year, is a very special time. It is a time of release, of investigation, a time of ascension. It is the ascension of all the energy you have created during your many times on earth and even elsewhere. This energy is now ready to move into your life, your energetic body, and with it comes the full arrival of your soul. It is the essence of this period to let your soul emerge, Imzaia. There are those in this room that do not understand the difference between ascension and ascension. And we would, before we begin today, like to clarify. The process of ascension is the one preceding the final process of ascension, your very reason for birthing yourself on this earth. Ascension implies that this life you are currently living is the top life of all lives you have ever lived, and that you have begun a process of reclaiming all energy of all other lifetimes of your soul projecting itself on earth. You will need all of this energy available, because when you do finally step onto the ascension spiral, let's say, all of it needs to go with you again. You can't leave anything behind, for that would form a paradox, would it not, between you and the sovereign ascension concept. Imzaia, it is for this very reason that during our first message to you, we talked to you about the release of all things old in your lives, be it people, places, events, or experiences, memories even. This release, albeit felt in your reality as a loss, is the reintegration of all of your shared energy during your lifetimes. Because of the conditional nature of most of your relationships with people, places, things, events, and experiences in your life, they seemingly fall away. But where do they fall to? The answer is simple, beloveds. You. They fall into you. So tell us, tell the 12, is this truly your greatest fear, like you say so often, to have all things reintegrate with you? If it is not, get over the concept of loss and begin to fully understand the concept of release today. Much in the same way this messenger and his keeper, the beloved one, have started this process, even without their very knowledge. The mind, you see, can never understand true gain. It can only understand loss. And in the middle, like a scale, exists the concept of release. Ascension is what happens when you begin the process of release. When you have gained yourself, once again, on a complete energetic level, is when the process of ascension finally begins. You will notice that once this cosmic manifest has been completed, and some other chapters that will come after it materialized, you will have finished the process of release, and a new era of self will begin. What an exciting time indeed. We will talk more of this in the coming time. But for now we hope that this may give you a way to reorient yourselves and move away from this false fear that is keeping you stuck in your lives. We are again in a space where you are not physically present, but with the speed of joy and consciousness. There is no difference between this messenger, his keeper, and you. There is no difference in energy between their bodies and yours, between their time frame and yours. So, here we sit, Imzaia, watching you, wrapping our energetic arms around you. Do you feel that? Our energy is to be found in the infinite motion of the cosmos, the infinite in and out breath. We come to you now from the center of this cosmos, that which you call the central sun. It is where our transmission is taking place. And as such, it seems as though this voice has traveled billions of light years. Yet, we do not need time to be with you. You are always with us. It took this messenger a while to let go of his body before he was ready for this sort of work. Because, like you, he is not yet 100% accustomed to the idea that there is no time and space. You have been working with the concept of everything being in the now, the concept of no time and no space for a long time. But it will only be in the coming time, here we go again, that you will really understand what this entails. We speak to you from the central sun indeed. We speak to you from the core of the universe. It is what we have previously labeled the Imzaia auditorium, the space where all of creation is possible within the time it takes you to blink. All of creation, less than a second, that's the core of your existence. Now, knowing that, do you know that your bodies also have a core? Do you? And if you do you think that this Imzaia auditorium that we are connecting in right now could be anywhere else than in your own core? It is the entirety of the universe, the central sun, the basic center of all potentials that are waiting for you to be made manifest. It is the biggest portal, the most expansive field of energy that exists in this cosmos, in which all the energy of and beyond your third dimension is present. So, we now welcome you in this energy, we the 12, as we have always welcomed you. Feel it, breathe it in, and touch the face of God, which is your face. Once you recognize this as truth, you will live a little bit less in this world and a little bit more in the heart of all things, as is, of course, your natural evolution, one day at a time. You see, Imzaia, there is nothing strange about this concept at all, is there? Especially not now. You are truly beginning to feel it within. This way of seeing things is how we see you always, and since you are starting to connect to our words and the vibrations behind them, you are finally manifesting this consciously within yourselves. If you will allow it, start preparing for your lives to change overnight. For this is what is possible today. Why, you ask? Because you have requested it. That is how powerful you truly are. So, having said all that, what message could we bring you today other than one about consciousness, about cosmic mastery, and everything this entails? It is the right time for it, Imzaia. It is your time. When these words are being spoken for the first time in January of 2007, you have just entered a transitional period that will last for many years to come. Even though this may be true, we also understand that many of you still have difficulties understanding why you are even on Earth, as this seemingly difficult moment in time keeps unfolding into directions that nobody seems to know where it's going. You feel like so many people and so many situations feed off you. And yes, beloved ones, we tell you now that this is indeed the case. Does that shock you then? You would not have expected the 12 to actually say something this negative? Well, we would say the only thing that truly is negative about our statement is that you are not aware of it. Become aware of it today, and the situation will change. It is in the choice for consciousness that this awareness and its activation is to be found. And that is why many of you are so very afraid to move into consciousness. You are afraid it will remove you from what you call your life. O Imzaia, do you understand that you cannot be fed off unless you are feeding as well? Another shock given to you by the 12. But by the power that is the core of you, we claim it is the truth. The process of feeding energy is a two-way street. 12. Tell me, how can it be that these beautiful people that are connecting to these words are feeders? It is a question by the messenger, while he is translating these words, and one, by the way, that we are grateful for. The answer, Imzaia, ever so simple. No one can feed off you unless you invite him or her in. And within that, every invitation to your own feeding process begins. The invitation in this case is conditional, and it has spread throughout your very lives with the speed of light as a cancer. How do you change it? Simple. You move from the speed of light to the speed of joy. And this, then, will be the main topic for today. The entire introductory explanation is meant to give you a deeper understanding of why this transition period of letting go that you are currently in is right and feels right and wrong at the same time. So, let us explore. There is a very strong chance that after everything we have already communicated so far in this lecture, your mind is going to want to start interacting with these words before it has a chance to do so. However, we now ask you to leave it be. You see, this choice, indeed, is making the choice for consciousness rather than mind. And no matter the complexity of situations sometimes presented to you in your life, the choice is always simple. Consciousness is where your cosmic mastery can be found. This entire chapter of teachings, called the Cosmic Manifest, will revolve around how to achieve this cosmic mastery with maximum results. And you are hearing these words because deep down you have already decided to pass this course with flying colors in more ways than you can currently imagine. Why not talk about the true workings of consciousness? And in order to do so, we bring you this opportunity to allow our energy circle to surround you wherever you are. Allow that to happen now. Notice how you can feel your own energy in the circle that is surrounding you right now as well. This, Imzaia, might be the proof that you seek that you are indeed eternal, and that the process of ascension and the process of inscension that precedes it and that you have started is all right. You see, there is no need to worry. You have done enough of that in your lives already. We, the 12, are in your heart, and so are you. We spring forth in your energy pattern, and in doing so, you grow a little closer to who you really are. We are in your body, and for the first time, you can choose to realize it, your body, is truly yours. Imzaia, it was never anyone else's to begin with, and even though you would never think to admit it, this is a belief you have had all of your life. We, beloved Imzaia, are the potentials in the core of your life, and you are these potentials come to life. At the same time, we are the interpreters of your energy to the cosmos and back. We are that part of you that stayed behind when you came here to act as a translation device to the totality of what and who you are, which is everything. So let this lecture be a time when you dare to reclaim all of that and more. It is your pre-birth right, Imzaia. It truly is. The honored task we perform for you today, and all days, is one we have carried out for so many eons on so many different planets and dimensions. Upon your request, we have the great privilege right now to start doing so in your life. It must mean that you truly believe it is once again time to convert your joy, your energy, your power, and all of your potential into true reality on this planet Earth. It is what you call New Earth, and we are here to return to you and to create it with you as we become you and you become us once again. Some of you are waiting for complicated words from the 12 about all of these things going through your mind. Even though you right now are currently removed through time and space from the moment these words were first spoken, we ask you to move beyond any frustration this might bring, and to, after these next few moments, close your eyes, take a deep few breaths, and realize the potential of your own quantum energy. Yes. Do you feel it? You can be in more places and times than the one you are in now, while focusing on your breathing. Allow your breath to become your consciousness. Allow every breath to be a river of potential moving inside of you and out again. Recognize the frequencies of your vibrations. Recognize our presence within those frequencies. Then, allow whatever question you would like answered to move into the molecules of the words and the sound you are hearing right now. Believe, if you will, that the future of these words can change because you are the one listening to them, observing them. Believe that after it changes, it will always have been the way it will be. Merge your question into this quantum moment, this practical exercise that we have moved you into, and move beyond. Move that which you want answered as well, beyond your own little human experience. Oh, beloved ones, sitting here in this Imzaia space, sparkling with energy, ready to ascend on this earth, we are looking forward to the true beginning, the moment your soul's energy will manifest itself again. And as such, it thrills us to be able to tell you about a concept you, in many cases, have never heard of before. So let's go. Let's move into this. We will call it the quickening for now, because it is a term you will be able to understand with ease. The quickening. It starts in the month of January 2007, the period of the year in which we introduce this message to you, and it is right on top of you as we speak these words. No matter where in time of space you are. The quickening has to do with time, and in more particular, more time essence being present in the same movement of space. Even though this month of January carries the same amount of hours and minutes it always has, the time that will be experienced within it will be the same amount of time essence which under normal 3D circumstances you would be able to experience for the entirety of this year 2007. This effectively makes this month of January the length of the entire year, time-wise. Believe us when we say you will feel it happening, and it won't just stop after January. It will continue onward all the way until and even beyond what you have labeled the month of December 2012. And as such, it is important for anyone connecting to these words from this original day fourth. There are some who say, these concepts are too difficult for me to grasp, 12. Why would these things like that even happen during my process? All I want is simplicity. Oh, beloved human being, don't worry. These concepts are not difficult at all. And the reason for it happening is simple. You need more time. So much more time between now and the end of 2012 to effectively experience, not process, but experience your entire range of lifetimes on Earth and elsewhere. This paradigm you have called your society and the lifestyles within it will soon be over, and you have a choice to make. A choice for consciousness, which will allow you to take with you that which has served you on a soul level and release that which no longer assists, or maybe even never has assisted you to begin with. The totality of your immersion into the field of what you have called Earth has been and continues to be of such a grand expanse that by the time the end of 2012 hits, you will need to have re-experienced everything again so you can choose. And that's what all of this is about. In order to do so, you must be given back the entirety of that time. And that, beloved Imzaia, is no more or less than 12.6 billion years of linear time. That is the quickening that will come into your lives between January 2007 and December 2012. A total of 12.6 billion years of linear time. Imagine how you will grow up after all of that experience, even though it will be experienced in just less than 6 years of linear time. Imagine the grandness of a being that has the ability to do such a splendor thing. It is the being that we call you. It is the cosmic adult. Do you know, just like the first 7 years of any life you live on Earth is considered by us the first cycle that will influence all of the coming life cycles of that particular existence, so is this month of January 2007 considered by us the first cycle of release that those that are ready will begin to experience. This quickening process will then increase incrementally, and all of your lifetimes will flow through you like a story that has been written exclusively for and by you. And all of that is what is ahead. We have talked about cosmic mastery during our first message to you last month, have we not? We have mentioned that you have the possibility to take on this cosmic mastery and experience cosmic adulthood. Today we ask you to step into the truth of our words and to access the core of you. Reach inside and take out of it everything we have told you so far and everything that you know to be total and absolute truth. Hold it, Imzaia. Hold it in your hands. Look at it. See it for what it truly is. Start living it this month and every other month that will ever come after it. This, Imzaia, is your ticket to ride. It is what you need to do. This and nothing else. Put into practice no matter what way you will find for doing so. Our words we bring to you. Your words we bring to you. And you will see everything unfold beyond your wildest dreams. This is the power you have to make these words come true. It is why you and us are split up, separated in apparent illusion between two sides of the veil, to bring home here. And this is how we are going to do it. The cycles of quickening we have just discussed is the energy necessary to make this happen. And the good news is that it is in your life today. Should you not choose to go through all of these steps, of course, it does not mean damnation. Far from it. It does not mean that you will have missed the boat. The only thing we want to say about it is that these words that are being intercreated, co-created between you and us right now are a potential that you can either choose for or not. You are the one choosing to activate it or not. You take it on or you leave it alone. It is up to you to decide if you are ready for this. But make a true choice and stick to it, Imzaia. Because the lack of doing so is what has gotten you stuck in this feeding loop to begin with. If you live it consciously, however, the energy of our words will go from one neighbor to the next until there is only one who realized this potential, and one only, the one that is you and the one that is everyone else with you. How about that? How would you like to deal differently with time and space? How do you feel about manifesting in the days to come? The time and space you would experience linearly in the year 2007, and thus freeing energy for the coming 11 months of this cycle. We tell you that the big quantum leap planned for the end of 2012 has been brought forward to the year 2008. That is how fast things are moving along. How is this possible? It's possible because of you. Yes, Imzaia, you who hear these words, you and the depth of your eyes, which we can see right now, you and the sacred blood that flows through your sacred body, you are making this possible. And your collective Imzaia consciousness, made up of creators and energy weavers and alchemists, is what individually and collectively creates your universe. It is why you are here and is what you have been made to forget. All of that is ending now. We know that our messenger will post another message on your World Wide Web about energetic consciousness, which we brought to you over a month ago. Listen to that message, for in it you will discover what is truly happening in your lives. We will not repeat that message because we do not like redundancy. Just connect to the words and you will find the tools you need for this coming time. The quickening will intensify twice during the rest of this year. The incoming energy of the central sun, which travels through your solar sun, will make it possible to repeat the influx of energy of January, once in September 2007 and once in December 2007. Those are two very important months, and we know perfectly well that they are not symmetrically spread out over the year. You would have found it easier if this would happen in your 6th or 7th month, and then again in your 12th month, but this is not how interdimensionality works. Interdimensionality is not symmetrical. We know that in most cases you love the duality you are in. You love to know that left isn't right and the other way around. You love to have a middle way, but it's not how creation works. Creation, Imzaia, is an all or nothing concept. This is why your senses or body parts seem to be out of balance sometimes. Interdimensionality is not about symmetry, but balance, and they are not the same. When you look at balance from a dualistic point of view in the third dimension you have been living in for so long, it would seem as if you had to create symmetry to have balance in your life. That is not the way of cosmic mastery. The way of the cosmic master is one of unity, one that fills in the blanks only at the moment of the highest potential having been reached, not before, not after. We know that your mind needs time to experience and absorb the fact that 1 month can contain all the energy of a whole year. But that is exactly how it is, and that is why this month is in perfect balance. Do you want to know what cosmic balance is and why it has nothing to do with symmetry? Cosmic balance is generated when all parts of a cycle contain the same amount of energy as the totality of the cycle. A good example of this is your body. It too contains the same amount of energy as the totality of the cosmos. And this will become a very important topic in the future. We see a light going on inside some of you sitting in this Imzaia auditorium. Even though your mind would have you believe your consciousness is only a part of it from a distance. So, let's go deeper. Have you ever heard of the holographic self, Imzaia? If you have, you will understand that cosmic and holographic balance is indeed the same thing. Your cosmos, after all, is nothing but a hologram, a truth your beautiful companions, the dolphins, have known all along. The most important definition of a hologram is not that it is built up of light and in some cases of love, if you like, nor is it important to know that a hologram consists of a pure, exponential form of joy and consciousness. It is important, however, to realize that each part of the hologram contains the same amount of information or more than the complete picture itself. We know that you may not understand these words, and we are not even asking you to try and figure it out. We just ask you to go to your consciousness, which is the cosmos of the hologram that you are. There are 2 reasons why there can be abundance in this universe. 1, because of the presence of holographic energy. And 2, because you as the observer of the hologram are present, and therefore more energy is present than you really need. All of that will be explained in more detail in the times to come. But for now we are happy to have introduced the concepts to your majestic imaginative realms. We hope that in the coming time you will dream about it far and wide. So, let us return to holographic balance. And just before we do, please check with yourself if any of the concepts we have presented you with today are still swimming around in your mind. The concepts, you see, are timeless, and your mind gets stuck in them because of its outdated terminology and definition. Please note that everything we say here cannot be compared to words and ideas found in your dictionaries and encyclopedias. Your definitions of the words hologram, cosmos, symmetry and balance will no longer fit where you are going, and you need to inform, or shall we say instruct, your mind about this. The word human even does not fit any longer, and deep down you know it. It doesn't matter if the first time you connect to these words is years down the road. Secretly, you know that you did not celebrate the beginning of 2007 like all other humans believed they were doing. You, as Imzaia, as those who are ascending, which by the way goes beyond the concept of Imzaia, feel that a part of you celebrated its own death as a human on planet Earth, the way life used to be, and celebrated your own birth as a cosmic master on the 1st of January 2007 and the 31st of December 2006. You celebrated the birth of yourself as a cosmic master and a teacher of balance, a task that you will execute far beyond the confines of even your current universe and reality. You celebrated the fact that you came to Earth so many years ago with a full and deep understanding that you would possibly have to lay low for a while. And you did. You celebrated that you had to temporarily forget all the knowledge that is within you, and that if things worked out, there would come a time where you would experience all of it again and play with these concepts in a conscious way. Well, what do you know? Things have worked out. The time is now. You celebrated it when your clocks at midnight 2006 going 2007 showed you the infinity signs. 0000 in your eyes stand for 2 moments of infinity overlapping, which is why that particular time creation allows you every day to step out of something past and into something new to be created. The universe is the way it is, after all, because you choose to experience it in a certain way. So, realize then, Imzaia, and see what it does to you. Realize that the old you died a while ago. Realize that you left something behind which could no longer fit your hologram. Something outdated. Realize that you have started a journey to becoming a cosmic adult. Listen to our words that we spoke on the 9th of December 2006, a teaching that we labeled energetic consciousness, and you will know why and how it all happened. We would like to thank everyone who was present at that time when we brought in that teaching. Did you know, Imzaia, that that moment was our birth into your reality, that it was our entry point into your consciousness, or rather, it was our re-entry. Although we have always been present inside of you through the words of all of the beloved messengers on earth. Now indeed is the time to leave your human games behind. The time to really start with a game called life. A game, we say, indeed, yes, because it's supposed to be fun. Did you ever think of that? How silly. All of your human concerns that you experience when the ingredients you originally created this reality with are all taken from the tree of joy. Why do you make a distinction between the concept of human games and a game? The answer is once again simple. Because the human games you have been playing were not even big enough to entertain you for that long. Human games are mind games, with a beginning, a middle, and an end. And therefore, they consist of limited energy. If energy is indeed limited in such a fashion, you end up going round in circles, and that is called circular reasoning. When you are in such a state, you cannot see the infinite movement of time. the largest form of circular reasoning, which has plagued you in so many facets of your life, is called drama. Drama creates limitation, and as such, it is a little human game. It cannot be compared with the true game of the existence you have arrived in, since your little human died inside of you. The totality of you is rising in your body and in this earth even. Your history books tell you that not many have gone before you, but we tell you that your history books are wrong. The fact of our existence, Imzaia, is living proof. And the fact of your existence is living proof as well. The ones that went before, your elders, are the masters that walk this earth. The step of quickening you are now undertaking is truly the sign of a master, not adhering to the rules of the limitations put upon him or her. That mastery can be yours if you let it. The quickening that is now occurring and that we have introduced to you in this message is based on the axiom that energy can expand or shrink without losing any amount of itself. Now, this again is one of the rules of the game that you have created and that you have forgotten. If you had remembered it throughout your current lifetime, your experience would have been a very completely different one, and we tell you it can still be that way. There is an important facet that we need to add to this concept of the quickening, and it is this. In the 6 years it will take for the experience to complete itself, you can reclaim all of the rules that time and space have made you forget. And please remember that when we speak of rules, we do not use the term restrictively in any way. You have created these rules, as we said, and they are designed for expansion, not limitation. They are cosmic rules, after all. Are you beginning to understand why we think you are so incredibly inventive? You are doing things with time and space we never, ever would have thought possible. Oh, Imzaia, if any of this at this point in time is confusing to you, again, we implore you to let go of your mind and move into consciousness while you connect to these insights. We guarantee you, as your cosmic guides, that if you do, you will understand every word. The only thing you need to do is to let go of your linear patterning. Let go of the fact that morning has to come before noon. Let go of the fact that 11 precedes 12. Let go of the fact that thinking creates speaking. Let go of the fact that life is a race to the death, and that these two opposites have to happen in cycles. Let go of the fact that poverty is the reverse of wealth, hunger the absence of food. Remove from your world action and reaction and invite your life to be a chain of action only. Oh, isn't that fun? Imzaia, we do love you so. You are the most creative beings of this universe and all the other layers of existence combined, and you come from so many places, yet none of you remember, and all of you are one. Although it may again be difficult for some of you to grasp, everything that you have experienced before your death of energy, if you will, on the 31st of December 2006 at precisely 12:12 was made up of all of the conditional negatives that you have ever lived in any other lifetime. All addiction, all pain, all pleasure, everything that you experienced in this lifetime before this moment that you can now define as drama was the combination of the highlights of every other lifetime experienced simultaneously. And as such, your consciousness found itself in the unique opportunity to weave itself through all of these, your lifetimes, every single one of them. You can say that this began the process of removing all redundant energy patterns throughout your history as a material being. Much like an antidote would start to destroy the diseases your body so often are plagued with. It is a death of energy because, as our third shock of the day, you will come to notice that this process leaves no energy at all, for all of it has been tainted. It doesn't mean you will disappear or fade away. Don't worry. It does mean, however, that something which we will only define much later can begin to replace this redundant energy, and that you, as the cosmic master, will once again combine all these lives, choices, and potentials that you have experienced in one point of consciousness, meaning you, in this very moment on planet Earth. This is how you will create New Earth, and this is why you are the catalysts of the cosmos. You are about to have a new Big Bang with each of you at its center. Don't you love New Earth physics? It is the basic reason for the school of life we have now created with all of you. It is no longer possible to look at things in a linear way, Imzaia. It is no longer possible to process, repeat, and bring out things again in a linear way. A cosmic master chooses the experience of his or her lifetime, of his or her time and space essence, without being put upon by anyone. He or she is not restricted by any type of calendar, work situation, or family schedule. He or she is holographically balanced. And yes, that is this year's cosmic fashion. Do you understand the beauty of a holographic universe? Many of you that we speak to at night sometimes say they are afraid of everything changing. They actually are quite comfortable in their material existence, even though it manifests as misery. They want to have their relationships and their children and their homes and their lifestyles. They dream of the many possibilities and powers that can be theirs if only they would let go. But they only want these so-called powers to use them in this material world to enhance their situation. They don't want to ascend out of the matrix, they want to ascend into the matrix. They must feel so small sometimes. And we tell you now, if you are one of these people we speak of, change yourselves today, or you may find yourself not getting through all of this without cuts and bruises, or without falling down and having to start again completely. This then is our fourth shock of the day, but it is probably the greatest and most practical truth we can ever give you in this moment. Imzaia, long talk. Before closing, let us discuss some concepts that will be explained more in depth later, but that are necessary for a complete understanding of the picture that we are painting for you today. One of these concepts is the energetic body. As you know, the energy surrounding your physical body consists of several very different layers. When your bodies were still in their original states, meaning they were not yet dumbed down, you used to have an 8-layered energetic body. after your bodies were changed forcefully, something which we will only discuss at the end of this cosmic manifest and beyond, by the way, your energetic body was completely inaccessible to your physical husk, and vice versa. And as such, it was cut down to one layer only. This layer you call your 2 DNA strands, and they create reality, physical reality. Now, you are allowing the power of the quickening into your lives. And you will notice that your energetic body will quite naturally evolve into 12 layers with 12 sub-layers each, because you are beginning to work with more facets and layers with which to experience linearity and reality, allowing you a cosmic and therefore circular point of consciousness interaction. If in any way you would be afraid that these 12 layers would be complicated, let's just tell you for now that they are made up of a core layer, a layer of time, space, harmony, joy, power, so forth. Very simple concepts. In the typical 3D state of existence, energies coming in or out of the body needed to be experienced going through layer after layer after layer. And since the energetic body was not connected at all, fake layers, which we will label differently in the time to come, but for now, fake layers were created in the physical body to still give you a experience of reality, albeit a twisted one. These layers within the physical, rather than the energetic body, have shown up in your lives in the form of pain instead of power, depression rather than harmony, and so forth. The process of quickening will help restore these layers to their original state, owned by the energetic rather than the physical body. The good news we bring is that this will be the end of pain, depression, and other types of drama that you have known on this planet, and we can't wait for it to happen in the coming years. Layers that work progressively in this way are operating from the principle of action followed by reaction. Layers that work in unity are layers of action only. So, having said that, what if you took the energy of a whole year and thereby skipped the layers of time and space and went immediately to the layers of power, joy, or harmony? After everything has been plotted out, you can then connect this layer and the energy of the whole year again with time and space. What if you try to look at things this way? What if time and space come last? What time and space do you choose as a cosmic master then? Let this be a good choice. For the whole of Earth and every step you will take is watching. Let this be your space in which you will create harmony, joy, and balance for all. We wish you all a great New Year's Eve on January 31st. Time acceleration indeed. Have a toast with champagne at the beginning of the year 2008, which will linearly be played out in 2007. Your coming new Earth will be a reality much faster than you could ever have thought. Now, and in the coming years, however, is the time that you must form inside of yourself the concept of what this will be for you. For you are co-responsible for the end result. It is your Earth also. We raise our glasses to you, Imzaia, Cosmic Masters. We raise our glasses to life itself. This concludes what we wanted to share with you today. We will not depart immediately once these words are finished, of course, but we will stay in your space. It is not the space in which you listen to these words physically that we will stay in, but the space of your energetic body, by your invitation only. During the next 48 hours, we will disconnect the linear lie from your energetic body by your invitation only. Afterwards, you will have greater access to the different levels of the energetic body, and you will be able to play with it better than ever before. It will not be a game of building blocks one after the other, but a game of immediate manifestation, all at once. We will talk more about this in the coming time. We will talk more about the unification of Europe and America. We will talk about the role you can play, the role you will play in all of this. Because as this change takes place in the microcosm of your body, it will become possible in the macrocosm of Earth. The space in between the micro and the macro is your very own heart, Imzaia. So prepare to open this beautiful instrument once again. Prepare to let the heart out of its cage in order for you to be ready for the teachings and the exercises that are to come. They will be fantastic, and so are you. We hug your entire essence. We infuse it with love. Feel this cosmic warmth, the rays of your own central sun and our core. Feel how we renew all of your cells, how we take away time and space and fill them up again with the complete information of your total body self. Well-being. Maybe now you will learn to think not only with your brain, but also with your heart, your hands, your feet, and with every part of you. Beloved Imzaia, stay in your body. Just like you have experienced death without being aware of it, you no longer need to leave this body. You can need it any way you want, just like you can your life. You were always able to do this, but have forgotten how it all works because of the false laws you have been taught. Let them go. They are no longer yours, not if you claim the title of Cosmic Master. Create your own cosmos here and now, but do not waste your time playing mind games. Do not waste your time telling yourself that you are doing all of these things that we talk about, that we share when we are together, while in fact, you truly are not. Step out of the conditional and discover the endlessness of the universe inside of you. Stop lamenting. Start creating. Start creating. Imzaia, it is your pre-birth right. Get into your body. Start living for a change. You do so deserve it. This is the energy of the 12. With all our love, light, and joy, transmitted from the central sun to your heart at the speed of consciousness. Please enjoy the message following this one. We will return soon. And so it is. Beloved ones, Imzaia, you are apostles, each one of you. We know that this word apostle has a strange flavor in your language, your society, and in your lives. Nowadays, you call yourselves Imzaia, light workers, and so many other names that indicate a destiny of your own liking, your own hopes, insights and dreams. But there really is no difference between these energies. You are carrying and working with the energy of your very own self, which is the core of all that is beautiful and majestic. And you are spreading it into the world so that it may transform the planet and make it a very different place. It is the same role that you played 2,000 years ago and many moments prior to this eventful and impactful time in Earth history. We are the energy of the 12, and it is indeed our honor to be with you right now. It is difficult, particularly today, for our messenger to translate these words and put them in the right energetic context, because so very many energies and amazing beings are here in the seminar room with him at this time. We know that you believe that you do this work surrounded by your guides, but in this case, the amazing beings we are talking about are you. Truly, the word guide is no longer a word that is appropriate for describing the energies that you carry. You consider guides as entities, as layers of consciousness, or as fields which steer you and illuminate the next paths and steps on the horizon. However, Imzaia, today we tell you, you have become your own guides. There is no need to fear anymore, or to experience grief or pain. It is no longer necessary to limit yourselves or indeed to restrict your energies, as in fact you are limitless. You are ready to start a new life and to choose the reality that you wish to experience. Do you know what this reality is and what you wish to create? It is a world where people are still listening to the laws of others? We don't think so. When you look at what you are creating for yourselves, it is a reality without laws, without obligations, without complexity. We tell you that it is. You are just not able to see the changes, not yet anyway, which you have gone through during the past years. As you speak of working with energy, as you speak of the harmonic convergence and the harmonic concordance and the Venus transit, they are empty concepts unless they are lived here and now, today, in this moment. We know that you have many languages within your heart and soul, as you have spoken every language on this planet Earth and of other planets as well. You have been speaking about laws in more languages than you can possibly imagine, and now it is time to bring it all together. Do you have problems understanding these words? Just let them flow. They are, in essence, nothing but energy. Words are energy that has been structured to fit the human body. It is time now to release these old structures, as well as everything else that does not suit the energetic body. Find new ways of interacting with the words that you speak and hear. Find different layers in their meaning, and find the fluidity that is always there for you to explore new and unimagined realms of what it means to be you. That is what we mean when we talk about releasing old or predetermined structures. Imzaia, we want to tell you a little story about the last days of Lemuria. When you were all living there, you all spoke as one. Even if you chose to have a body separate to the whole, you did not work with a structured sense of feeling. It is very important to understand the difference between emotion and feeling, and you can do so by understanding the difference between old and new energy structures. You have called emotion one of the most relevant human experiences on this planet. You have celebrated emotion, you've watched it in your films, you've cried when you saw two lovers against all odds, and you have repeated the same old emotions time and time again, every day, for your entire lives. An emotion is a structured and, as such, predetermined feeling. To us, based on this definition, it is nothing short of a prison. You need to understand that an emotion belongs to what you know today as the Akashic records. The Akash, however, is no longer accessible to you as you are in the process of deleting it. It is not such a strange concept if you truly consider the concepts of ascension and its eventual follow-up into ascension, because to rise within and then to rise above cannot happen without the release of predetermination. You can't rise above the knowledge contained within the books of only one library without eventually understanding that there is more to the truth than what is offered within that library. The Akashic records, in a way, is this library. You can see it as a huge television station, and you, the human race, as far as emotions, feelings and experiences are concerned, have been watching repeats for many, many years on that television station that you call the Akashic records. Oh, there are many questions in your brains right now, and you are asking, 12. What will happen to us when we delete the Akashic records? Where will we go? And where will we find the information describing our past lives? Isn't that the very thing that defines us? Everything is about this life, dear ones. This is the only life that you should concern yourselves with. It is here and now, and that you should play and have fun with. As we look at your little human selves, we honor each and every one of them, filled with all of their Akashic energy, the energy of past lives, the energy of withheld tears, forgotten pain and sadness, old frustrations and hatred. Yes, there has definitely been some hatred in your lives. We have been watching you. But this is okay, as hatred was perfectly fine. You do not need to feel guilty about it anymore. Instead, ask yourselves, who is feeling the guilt? The mind or the heart? The soul, the energy that you are, feels no guilt. We have told you before that your energetic body simply cannot work with structured energies based on fear, hatred, or pain. There is no more room for your bodies to handle this, as they have been filled with so much love, light, passion, with action and with possibility, potential and eternal youth, if you so choose. This pours out of you every single day, and yet you still feel so much fear, pain, and sadness. How could it be that after so many years and decades of working on yourselves, you still experience the same problems every day? Well, you are human. You like to relive your experiences, therefore. You do this every day by getting up at the same time, or simply by getting up. You take the same road to get to work, and you watch the same programs on television. You have as much love in your life as you had the day before, and you make love to your partner in a predictable way. You repeat everything over and over again. Repetition no longer serves you, dear ones. You need to stop. Your energetic body cannot handle this, for it is now being pushed out into new fields of strength. The energetic body is made of several layers, and we will speak more deeply about this in the near future. However, we tell you now that the last singular layer, part of your energetic body, is the layer that you call strength. As you begin to inhabit your energetic body, as well as the physical body, you truly start to step into your own power and strength. Imzaia, it is about inhabiting it all and living it all. It is about being in the now and being in the body. The body is the only ship from which to navigate the sea of now. This is the one of the most important lessons that you will ever learn, for you will create everything you will ever need by staying in the now. When you leave the now moment, you go into a state of flux, and your energy is no longer balanced. You end up going round and round, and the energies that are supposed to be only love, laughter and joy are now transformed into fear. You are the one doing this. We are simply telling you what you are doing. We are standing next to you, behind you, in front of you, right now. We are hoping, and in truth knowing, that one day soon you will change this paradigm. We are waiting for this to happen. We see you make this change, but then in a couple of hours you revert back to fear. It is fine though, for you can do this in your own divine timing, and as many times as you want. There's only one little hiccup that interferes with your divine timing, however, and that is that you constantly think about getting older, and what you think is what you get, or what becomes your reality. We have asked you to bring all of your rocks and stones and all of these sorts of things that you used to give your power away to. And we want to show you that you do give your power away to all of these things today. Did you know that they mean nothing, for they have no substance whatsoever? You indeed are the ones giving them, and with them the entire earth, substance. Beloved ones, you are the rain, you are the wind, you are the sun, and you are the earth. You are the very chair on which you sit. You are President Bush, you are Hitler, you are death, and you are life. You are all of these things. Do you find it shocking to know that you are the clothes that you are wearing right now? It's all your energy. It's all you. And if you would understand this simple truth, everything would change. You are the ones turning energy into meta, not us. We just keep the energy flowing for you to weave as you see fit into the realities of your choosing. And oh, you have created some beautiful places in the form of these stones and crystals that are in front of us here today. Most of them were created in Lemuria. O Imzaia, you have created these stones in front of you. You created them in a time when structured feeling, which is emotion, was not possible. The great experiment began in Lemuria, where you lived in your light bodies that you could transform into physical bodies if you chose to. Some of you liked your little flesh games, as you used to call them, your games of matter. You are still playing them today, but only in a very different way, because now you no longer understand that you are playing them to begin with. How troublesome and tedious your lives have indeed become. Back in Lemuria, you understood that a feeling was something that could not be structured. It was one of the most sacred energies in existence, the energy of feeling, as a feeling is simply energy moving through you, processed by the physical being that you currently are. As you do this, you are activating parts of yourself throughout the cosmos. Each and every one of you carries in your bodies as much energy as exists in the entire universe. And then you could ask, how could this be? If this were true, would the universe not have 8 billion times the amount of energy it has today? No, Imzaia, for energy is a paradox. It can stretch and shrink. This is what we call the breath of life. It is how life is created. It is how nature is created. It is how you are created. These rocks were created because they basically are your feelings become manifest, your passion turned into matter. They are simple reminders of the power of your own feelings. As a healer, wanting to help someone, you take these stones and these crystals and you put them on the human body, thinking that it's the stones that is doing the work. But now you know that it is you. Now you know that you are the ones doing all the work and that you are keeping this very universe in place. You do not need a stone or a crystal or even your own physical body to heal a patient. The patient will heal himself or herself. All you need to do is to be kind and to be balanced around them. That is the space that you need to create for healing to occur. Kindness and balance. What does Lemurian energy mean? What is the difference between the Akonai and the Akash? You could even use the words heart and mind, or feelings and the mental field. The Akonai is, in short, an unstructured feeling, a feeling in its original or neutral state of energy. When Lemuria was beginning to shift to what you know today as Atlantis, although it was not called that at the time of Atlantis itself, a shift, by the way, that lasted for more than 10,000 of your years, there were a couple of beings in the Atlantean part of Lemuria, and they are not here today, that decided it would be better to structure the energy of feeling. But it didn't end there. A decision was made to structure everything you know today as reality. This, by them, was considered a great experiment, because it would be a way of handling all energy on a three-dimensional level alone, without the need for multi-dimensional unity and interaction. Yes, we hear you, the fools. But in short, they wanted to handle things from their limited and individualized point of view only. Well, Imzaia, we said they are not here today, but we lied because they are all of you and all of us together, all of humanity and all of ascended life. We tried it. And here you sit in your physical bodies, on your physical planet, in this physical plane of existence. The experiment has been a great one, as you have indeed been successful in structuring energy in so many ways. Structured energy these days now goes even beyond the form of matter, dear ones. And that is what you need to realize in order to move on, or in other words, in order to move out of it. When we look at you today, we see amazing changes in your physical bodies. Even if you do not see these changes for yourself yet, it may take years for you to see them. But one day you will. The structure that was created so long ago is beginning to shift and is losing its grip on reality with every passing day. Yes, when looking in the mirror, you still see the same old person you were the day before, although sometimes these days you are able to glimpse what you are becoming, and this scares you to death, as you understand that nothing will ever be the same. You know deep down that Earth is no longer the same planet it once was, and you also know that this today at the end of 2006 is just the beginning. You know that today free will means something quite different than it has in the past. We joke with you sometimes as we tell you that on this planet Earth and in this society, free will means that you have the ability to choose the shampoo, the beers, or the restaurants of your liking. Indeed, Imzaia, do you know that this is not free but limited will? It is nothing more than someone offering you limited choices. Free will is about creating the choice in the first place, dear ones. That is how abundance and power works. That is how energy works. That is how joy works. That is how love works. Understand, this is mastering life. You create your own choices, and you can be aware of this. So, most likely, when you go to bed tonight, your mind will be racing. Oh, what am I going to create? Okay, let me think about what am I going to create. Dear ones, it does not work that way. The mind is a limited tool, and it has been very affected in the last few hundred years. But it cannot handle this energy that you call creation. What happened in this room today, and what will continue to happen in this room evermore because of this day, can never be understood by mind. And those who are in mind will have felt nothing when this day is over. Even if they are feeling everything crystal clear in this moment of time, eventually mind will instruct them to dismiss it as a fantasy, and they will comply. It is also possible that if you feel nothing, no increase or decrease of energy, you are in a perfect state of balance. In that case, you would indeed not feel anything at all, since you would already be basking in the energy that our words are trying to describe whenever you speak. And you need to know this too, because being in balance can also be used by the mind to trick you, making you believe that you feel nothing. This is very important, Imzaia. As you choose what you want to create, and as you create whatever you choose, leave the mind behind and go into consciousness. We are going to repeat this sentence. As you choose what you want to create, And as you create whatever you choose, leave the mind behind and go into consciousness. If there is anything you remember of this message today, let it be this sentence. The energy of mind and the energy of consciousness are completely different things. Recently, we have spoken about the first 7 years of life. It is during this time that you leave consciousness and that you enter the energy of mind. You come to this earth as pure consciousness. You are not born with a mind, for this develops much later. The mind is born at the moment that you hear and then speak your very first word. When you were babies in your cribs, you could not understand a word of what was said by your parents, your family, and their friends. You just heard the chatter going on above your heads, and you interpreted it in the same way you would interpret a beautiful song with instruments but no understandable words. Speech and any other sound with it at that time simply meant beauty to you, and so did everything else. It was without structure, simply because you were without structure. As such, you were able to pick up its true vibration. But then it happened. As you and your physical brain listened to these songs, you were eventually infested by their structures, and the structure became the word. The very first thought in words you eventually would have was, hey, I can do this too. I can make myself known. I can be accepted. I am one of them. And so it was. When you spoke your first word, beloved Imzaia, you officially became a parrot. You copied so many things, ideas you heard from other people, from your parents, from your grandparents, from the children in school, from your teachers. So, dear ones, answer us this. Are the clothes that you wear, are the thoughts in your head, is the way you shaped your life really based upon free choice? No, not at all. All of that is based upon what is in your mind and what your mind has taught you. For instance, this color is pretty, that color is ugly, and you probably don't even remember why. Perhaps your grandmother liked the color purple, not the movie, the actual color, and because of passive indoctrination, bang, now so do you. The question is, who taught your grandmother to like the color purple? Some of your individual choices and likes or dislikes can be traced back throughout the generations, Imzaia, the continents, and even the stars themselves, and this is not a joke. The mind and its masters have created a set of guidelines for you, a set of rules and laws for you to live by. Once you move outside of these laws and outside of these predefined structures, it appears as though your world is falling apart. And if it isn't, those around you, known or unknown, will do their utmost best to make sure it does. We also want you to know that this mind is just a machine, and that you can choose to turn it on or off. Just like you do with your television sets or your computers, your cars, so many times a day. However, we do understand that this society in which you live is not yet ready for you to switch your mind off and to just wander around. Actually, it is not really about wandering around, is it? If you switch the mind off and you switch consciousness back on, there will still be words, Imzaia. There will still be clothing. There will still be matter around you, especially for the first couple of years as the transformation takes place. But in the end, let there be no doubt, consciousness will take its rightful place again. And when it does, so will you. This is not a potential, but a truth. The unity consciousness of planet Earth has already made its choice, and you took part in this choice. Therefore, you are in the process of returning to the pristine state in which you came to this planet. You will be totally enveloped in love. Just wait a few years and see. You will be in love with everything and everyone, and you will finally remember that this planet was your creation. It was not God's creation. God with a big white beard is not sitting in the clouds, tapping himself on the shoulders, saying, I created all of this. No, you did. You are the ones sitting in the clouds, and yet here you are. That's the way of consciousness. It can divide itself into energy and matter. It can experience several different lifetimes that are being lived at the same time and in the same time, or in different realities. As your consciousness is beginning to evolve, so are you. And loved ones, you have not yet begun to understand the consequences of all of this. No one that sits here today has. It is important to us to communicate this clearly to you. We do not wish to create separation between you and the rest of humanity. However, we tell you now that what you are experiencing at this time is quite different than what those around you are experiencing, for you have started to evolve. You are beginning to comprehend the true nature of what you really are trying to accomplish here. You will see that the path is very simple, as it is simply about creating the consciousness of all that are to come to this planet Earth. The simplicity of your path is creating the consciousness of all that are to come to this planet Earth. Do you understand what that means? It is not about balancing the male and the female, for the rest of the planet is already taking care of that. You, as Imzaia, have begun this journey for a reason. You, as light workers and Shambra, are the walkers of the path. You are the ones navigating the way to the stars. You create the consciousness of all that are to come to this planet after you. You navigate this human race to the stars, and you are loved for all. We are all a part of you, as you are a part of us. You have come here to show this world what it is to be consciously aware of your creations. At some point in this message, Yeshua will join us and step forward more fully and talk about consciousness. It has to do with the way you perceive the world. Has any historical figure been more misunderstood than Yeshua? We don't think so. Oh, Imzaia, you have set it up so grandly. Even Hitler was better understood than all of us were. His message was clear as a bell. It was about transformation, transforming the world through some very intuitive and strong measures. And this, in fact, was accomplished. The planet began her journey towards the light after Hitler. The message of Yeshua, however, dear ones, was greatly misunderstood, as it was not about churches, prayers, redemption, or suffering. It was not about getting into heaven. It was about realizing that you are in heaven. It is a state of heart and consciousness, and is not a state of mind, for mind cannot create heaven. Mind can only create limitation, separation, anxiety, fear, and sadness. Today, you have experienced, earlier during this seminar, together with the energy of Merlin, what it feels like to go beyond limitation and to allow yourself to become anything that you wish to be. Is this not a state that you wish to live in all the time? The state of consciousness? Would you not like to be able to communicate with each other like this all the time? We do understand that you cannot stay here all day within this beautiful energy soup. However, you can remain within this energy and carry it with you all the time. The reason why you feel so disconnected at times is that you have had no previous experience with this energy, at least none that you can remember. It is so overpowering to you at current, so strong and intense. As the years go by, however, the intensity on some levels will diminish, as the energy will go within and will become a part of you. At that point, of course, new energies will release themselves and become intense around you. But as you continue to work with it all, you will notice that you will no longer wake up in the morning thinking of what you have to do. You will wake up in the morning thinking about what you want to do. You will feel what you want to do and simply do it. And that will be and can be the simplicity of your lives. The truth is that you are in a different playing field at that point, a different ballpark, so to speak, from the rest of humanity. As we have said before, you are not working with balancing male and female energies or balancing the energies of fear, love, sadness, or joy. That's humanity's general task right now, and if you are working on those levels, then you are currently deluding yourselves, as you are accepting the label which society has put upon you as a spiritual seeker. So we ask you now, please let those emotions go. Let them go. Do you know how many unnecessary tears have been shed on this planet in the last few years? It is astronomical, and if Adamus were here, he could probably give us the exact number. Too many tears have been shed, too many tears have hit the ground and have been offered to Gaia. Yes, offer your emotions to Gaia. Go on, let it all out. You can do it, but be done with it. After that, the truth is that you can either stay small or you can let go and grow. Now there is a choice for you. Loved ones, consciousness is about all of these things. The energetic body, which we spoke of earlier, is one and the same. It is about universal consciousness and realizing that you, as a human, hold the energy of the entire universe, and as such, you are as conscious as the universe itself. You are on the path of achieving that exact state of consciousness. Did you ever notice that since you started this path, society has a problem with you? That is because they don't know what to do with you and your choices. Ancient ones, realize that we are talking about a complete evolution, a complete shift in the energy of humankind. We speak of the way you create energy, the way you work with it, and the way you blend energies together. We speak of how all of these things are changing. So, if the rest of the world is working with balancing the male and the female, and if they are working with all of this crap that you see on the news every day, please know what you are actually doing. We have a question for you. What do you want to do? You have, in essence, freed yourselves from human misery, and you have begun the human adventure. Human misery is about wars, conflicts, politics. It's about all of these things that you see in the news. Watch the news one more time if you so choose. We do know that there are many of you who choose not to do this any longer. But watch it one more time, and you will see the mind at work. Watch the news and wait. After a couple of seconds, you will see a politician going on and on, raving about another politician or whatever. This is mind. When you see it, do not laugh. Do not mock this person, as you have been playing out your version of this type of existence for most of your lives. You have been playing the victim with all those little roles that were supposed to teach you things, and they have done just that. However, school is out now, and it is time for your holiday to start. This is at your disposal right now. You can create it now. You can shape the energy and create what you want. The only thing, Imzaia, that you cannot do is use another's consciousness to create what you want, and this is indeed why politics and warfare will no longer be tolerated on this planet. Again, a sentence that we will repeat. The only thing you cannot do is to use another's consciousness to create what you want. New energy will not accept this, and this is why your planet's paradigm is changing as we speak. Honestly, tell us, you can manipulate another mind, but can you manipulate another consciousness, another universe, another version of yourself that holds the exact same energies? You cannot. You can just mirror it. You can just give your love to it and make suggestions. You can just say, look, this has worked for me. How about you? How about letting go of your pain and your misery? How about letting go of all the fear and just be what you want to be and what you can be? How about not listening to society any longer and just being whatever it is that you want to be? Blend all the different parts of yourselves together. Think for just 1 minute that you are not old, but that you are an eternal being, and that you can be as young as you want to be, that your life is just beginning. How about letting go of all the fears of going to the workplace and choosing to no longer put up with this little box that you call careers? Just let the rest of the world play with these things. It is your true job description to bring the planet to this new state of consciousness, this new energetic body, and these new ways of working with unstructured energy. Dear ones, quite an intense session today. But let us now sit here with you for a moment and just wash your feet. We look at you and we see the kings and queens of this planet Earth. We see the ones who are brave enough to come here and to live a life of restriction, knowing that one day soon you will wake up and play the most difficult roles of your lives in the years ahead. These are the true beings that we now address. Please understand that you are not just people living a life. You are teachers and apostles, and you will see many come forward and speak about this. One of the reasons we speak about this now is that Tobias has jumped in to share his energy with all of you right now. Feel and embrace his energy. He once did the same as you are doing today, and to this day his grand work continues. We know how you hear and read every word we share, and we love you dearly for this. We, in fact, do the same for you. We receive you with great joy, everything that you share. So, as you become the teachers of this new planet Earth, as you are the ones stepping into these new roles which you have created for yourselves, you will encounter those who want to experience what they see in you. They will want to try it out. All that you will have to do is to project what you really are. You will just be sharing your consciousness with others, and there will be many who will want to share in your expression of it. You will meet them walking down the street. You will smile at them, and they will stop and turn around. These will be the love angels, and they will be the first to come, for they are the ones who have been waiting the longest, the ones who rejected the games played by the rest of humanity, knowing that change was coming. They have started living on their own, going their own way, while they waited for many of you to appear. It is high time, Imzaia, that you do show yourselves and connect to these love angel beings that probably pass you by on the streets every day. There are so many sensitive beings on the planet right now, sensitive to the energies that are currently unfolding, and they need you. By positioning yourself this way, you will end the human game that you have been playing for so many years. It is time for fun, time to simply be what you really are, and to face what is ahead, head on, even though it may seem difficult in the years ahead as it unfolds. You will share your consciousness with those who seem, for lack of a better term, weird. We speak of those judged to have a mental problem. It will, in fact, be those who will come to you, looking you in the eyes, and they will understand that a teacher has come, that a teacher is also awakening within themselves. They will know as they look into your eyes, and they will know that this is their 2-second window in which to communicate. You will look at each other, maybe just for a couple of seconds, and maybe you will share some words, not necessarily a conversation, but a meeting on the heart level. From the perspective of consciousness, there will be a lot going on during these meetings in your lives in the next many years to come. We want to make you aware, dear ones, that the consciousness we are talking about and the subconsciousness that you know as being the subconscious mind are very far removed from each other. Consciousness is energetic consciousness, which is universal consciousness, and it has no subconsciousness, no duality. It has no place in which you can store away all of these things that you do not want to see or face. There is no room for this. They will just disappear, as will the current state of mind. So, people will come to you, and you will choose to be their teachers. There are those hearing these words that are resistant to these tasks we are now describing, but we tell you of the surprise that you will feel when you will eventually look back and see how good you truly were at accomplishing your teacher role in those moments. To get back to passing and teaching people in the streets. School will be out very soon, since after about 5 seconds you will have taught them everything they need to know, and the energy exchange will last them a decade in some cases. This is how powerful you can be. This is what happens when angels, when consciousness walks past someone and the life of that person is changed forever. This is what you will be able to do and what you are doing already in some cases. However, most of you have not been able yet to do it on a conscious level, and that is why you dream and sleep so much at this time. In some cases, you carry the energy of Gaia. You have to sleep because there is a lot going on with the planet right now, and you will feel the fatigue running through you in the years to come. We tell you though, revitalize yourself by connecting to the very thing that you represent, nature and life itself. Connect yourselves to the cycles of existence and breathe with them as you would on every other occasion. In many other cases, you are the teachers in your dreams, as you are visiting the dreams of other people and teaching them in what we call dream time. They will wake up one day as they smell the coffee, and they might actually start to smell the roses. Then one day they will begin to see the clouds and look up to the skies. When they do, they might understand that the clouds are parting in their own waking minds, as even their waking minds say goodbye to what was. It could be that one day they will come home and everything they know will have changed. It will not have changed in the old way, but totally changed, as they will not recognize the place they were living in, and everything about their lives will be dramatically different. This is what you do. This is your job description. It is why you are Imzaia. It is why you are light workers. You can choose your names, as we do not care about names. However, do remember that our name is really your name. Do remember that when we are listening to these words, you are listening to your words. Even if you are in a room with all of these people, you are listening to your words. You are here changing your life. We have nothing to do with it. You are changing everything. You are, in fact, changing universal consciousness, and you should be proud. Imzaia, we are back, and we are not going anywhere. We are staying right here with you, as we promised we would. This is because we are you. Some of you think that we are the future you. We have used this explanation in order to explain what we truly are, but it's not accurate, not entirely. We are the circular you. That's more closer to the truth. We are you when you are out of linear time, when you are out of your mind. From where we sit, we have a very clear picture of what is going on. We have a very clear view of all of you, and you are all beautiful. You are the daughters and the sons of the King and the Queen, and you are the King and the Queen. You are the beginning and the end. You are the Alpha and the Omega. You are the ones who have slaughtered, and you are the ones who have loved. You are the ones who have been slaughtered. You are the ones who have been loved. Now you bring it all together, and that is the beauty of it. When you remember some of these things that you have done, you are bringing it all together. It is so beautiful. You should save and cherish every second, because there will be a time, Imzaia, when it will be over. When you will have been ascended, when you will have been integrated, when you will have brought it all together. Most of you are like a lot of parents who want their kids to be small adults, and then when the kids have grown up and you are all alone in the house, you call your friends and you say, "Why did they have to grow up so fast? I did not even recognize the little smiles anymore. I do not see the little things that I used to love so much." Well, this is how you are right now. You are the sons and daughters of the King, the ones who have come here to change consciousness, to change the way life works. And we know that we are saying the same things over and over again right now because we need to get this into your heads. It needs to be in there so very deeply that your mind cannot project illusions and lies into your consciousness. This truly is the point of today's message. We will be talking a lot with you tomorrow, and much of it will be activated by the memory of the myth of Avalon, which was no myth at all. Do you see why you have forgotten about Avalon or Lemuria, or why you have forgotten about yourselves? This is because you went into a state of mind. What you do when you go back to Avalon or Lemuria and to the lives that you once lived is go to your consciousness, since everything is readily available there. The Akashic record separated everything, and the Akunai blends it all together, making everything one again. As such, there are no past or future lives. There is just now, and in it exists the potential of every life you have ever lived and every life you will ever live from a linear perspective. That is all there is. And you had better learn how to take care of this now moment, because it is your playground and it is your paradise. You are not going anywhere. You are not going home, as there is no home. There is just energy. 10 years ago, you were ready to hear about an energy called home. where you could go once your hard work on earth was over. Well, now you are ready for the fact that there is no other home than what is to be found in this moment. It is the heart, it is the consciousness, and as you die, if you choose to do so, your energy just recycles and comes back here. You come back either in the same body or in a different one, in the same time period or elsewhere, in the same geographical area or on a different so-called planet even. This home you call Earth, dear ones, is home. Just so you know, if the Earth would ever die, therefore so would humanity. So take care of her, for she needs you now. We will tell you a little secret about your near future advancement. First, there is mind. And if you shift your mind, you then move into consciousness. If you move into consciousness, Imzaia, you open yourself up, maybe for the very first time in a long, long time, to nature. We are speaking of external nature, the natural world. Then you open to your internal nature. And when you connect to your internal nature, you come to balance. When you go into balance, you balance everything and everyone around you. You take them out of their minds and you allow them to move into consciousness themselves. Why do you think, for instance, Imzaia, that people who are in love say that they are out of their minds? Another good question, why are there so many people out of their minds right now on planet Earth? An example. We will share a piece of information that may shock you. If you have been watching your news in Belgium, which is where we are right now, you saw that a couple of days ago in a place called Ghent-Brugge, there was a grave robbery. A young 29-year-old female had destroyed over 350 graves, and the police were puzzled. She is very unstable, they said. We will tell you what was going on, and this is something that you will see coming back on many different levels in the coming time. So many people are going out of their minds because they have no place left inside of their minds to live in. There is so much activity in people's lives, so much to do at work and at home, so many things to do with the kids and the family. And then there is television with its manipulation filling people's minds. So many are busy, 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 until the mind has no place left to live, and they can no longer live in their minds. This is when people go out of their mind. People often think that they are nuts at that point. We would like to finish, for instance, the story of the young girl. We know that some of you are aware of a television show called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Well, this is what she connected to, dear ones. And it isn't funny. She had connected synapses in her brain to form an illusionary neurosynaptic pathway that would make her believe that she indeed was Buffy. While the police believed that for more than 35 days she had been grave robbing, what she in her head in fact had been doing was saving people by fighting demons and vampires. It was the only way for this girl to deal with her dying mind or to deal with her mental breakdown. Since she had no other wisdom available to her but television, unfortunately the way she tried to escape her mental life made it so that she got even deeper locked into it. Strange story perhaps, but it is true. It is for this reason that you need to stand up now, dear ones. If you do not choose to stand up and show the world what you are, if you do not choose to spread consciousness, the above story will become the new play of planet Earth. Now, don't get us wrong, this is not a doomsday scenario, it's merely a potential. And if you think about the madness currently in the world, it is not so far-fetched. In the coming years, it won't be a war against terrorism, nor against nature eventually. There will be some floods and what you will call disasters, yes, but they will pass. The new problem on the planet Earth will be that which we call singular insanity. It will be people going out of their minds because their minds have been so filled that they have no place left to go, and what they have been filled with cannot give them redemption or any route of escape, such as ascension. You, the teachers, are needed now with your light and with your love, with humor, with truth, and above all, with joy. So, make the connection. Reach out your hand. Show the world what you are as you let go of the drama and of all of these things. We will speak further on this topic, and we will give you practical information on how to deal with it soon. We will tell you about the energetic body and how to connect to it. We will share much with you in future times about consciousness. This, indeed, will be our mission for the coming 8 years. And you will get used to it with every passing day as you will evolve with us. You will travel the world, visiting the places that have been calling you. Yes, Imzaia, we know your dreams. We know that you feel your lives are too small, so make them bigger. Make them limitless. When you connect to nature, you go into a state of consciousness. You connect to your inner nature and you go into balance. Once you are in balance, you can accomplish everything that you have been dreaming about. Now, how is that for a job description? If tonight you find yourselves in bed, but not quite ready to sleep, we ask you to use that opportunity to start taking your filters away, which are the filters of fear, anxiety, depression, negativity, and hatred. Dissolve them in any way that you see fit and open up. It doesn't matter how you do it, but that you do it does. Get ready for what is to come, because it is big. As you want to move forward on this path, it is time to start letting go of the last bits of that addiction called mind. And with all of that said, we will now turn to a couple of questions that we will answer before the closing of this session today. So, who would like to ask a question?
My question is about consciousness. Do I have to do or leave certain things to remain in this state? Or does it come and go like ebb and flow?
Oh, dear and beautiful Creator, you don't need to do anything. What we were saying earlier is that there are so many people right now telling you exactly what steps to take, exactly what to do in order to become enlightened, supposedly. The truth is, it doesn't work that way. There is no schedule to this process. It is not possible to say that there is a 5-step program and you do not need to study with anyone to be enlightened. This is not necessary. You will see this as we continue our work together. Also, it is impossible to do this with a rule book. You just have to trust your instincts and your own nature to do the work. And as we are telling you about this energetic consciousness, this shift has already begun. You don't need to do anything. What we are doing right now is informing you of what is taking place. The only thing you need to be aware of in some sort of way is the mind. For it will start questioning what has been said here today, and it will try to make a lie out of it. It will try to come up with paradoxes. There are always paradoxes, for energy is paradoxical in simplicity. So, to answer your question, just be still. Just be you. Be in your silence, in your energy, in your passion. Try not to get your mind running with you. Just let it go. Let the mind go. Another thing for you to know is that when you do get into this state of evolution and you start seeing the first signs of this happening, there will be several times when you think you will have fallen back and you will feel the energies and the earth closing in on you again. Now, it's very important to know that that's normal. It does not mean that the process hasn't started, for it has, and it cannot be reversed. So whenever this closing in sensation happens, stay in your state of joy. It's all you have to do. It is an old concept to think that you need to move into a state of consciousness. Because the truth is that a state of consciousness needs to start moving within you. So find yourself, and that is what you will find. Any other questions?
Since I know more about my energy and my connections, I am blocked. It is just like I travelled back in time. I thought I was in my consciousness for a while, but now...
Well, you have a choice. Either you are blocked and you continue to be blocked, or you unblock yourself. Because no one else can do it for you. We cannot do it for you. You have to do it yourself. You are strong, you are powerful, and you are worthy. Many are waiting to speak to you. All you have to do is allow the light that is around you to be visible to everyone. Traveling back or forward in time, all of these things are mental concepts. Thinking that you are in consciousness for a while and then you are out of it is a mental concept. It is this that makes you visible or invisible. So just trust your evolutionary process where it is taking you in that moment. Your mind is still holding on to its personality. It's still trying to survive. So somewhere in there, your ego is going crazy. Just remember this. Once you let go, everything will change. The release will then necessarily have to come. So thank you. Loved ones, as always, it was our heavenly pleasure to be here on earth with you, to be in human form, and to be able to communicate with you in this way. It is a cosmic orgasm just to be around you and see what you are doing, the changes that you are making, and what you are setting into motion every single day that you choose not to repeat yourselves mentally. We see your fears. We see these little things that are still blocking the path and making it difficult for you to be who you really are. But remember that there is a time when everything will be over. And when you will actually miss this good old state of mind that you were in. There will be a time when you sit with each other and you will think back to how Earth was. You will be gathering, just like now, and you will be thinking back to Avalon, having discussions about Lemuria, Atlantis, and even about your very childhood. There will be a time when the human race will take its place between the stars and become the interdimensional race that it really and truly is. This will happen in your lifetime. We tell you, without a doubt, that everyone here will see this take place. Now, if that is not a good reason to get out of bed in the morning, then we don't know what is. Are you worried, really, about paying bills now that something as huge as this is going on? Please don't get worried about such things anymore. Please do not create small lives. Do not accept living in imbalance and limitation. You once thought that these limits protected you and that you needed them. Ha! When you are balanced, you need no protection. You will be limitless. Your energy needs to beam out in all directions because, dear ones, everyone and everything that will be touched by your energy will be balanced, or will be shown the way to balance. So, just let go and share consciousness. This will be your reality. For when you are balanced, there are no limits, as the mind is no longer in control. Just share the consciousness and be one. Just be love in the same way we love you. Sometimes you will be open and still, and at other times joyful and playful. Let your consciousness create what it wants to create. Do not put any limits on creation. Just express your own ideas, and your creations will come to you. This we guarantee. Beloved Imzaia, we salute you and we love you. We adore you. We are crazy about you. We have been falling in love with the human race for a long, long time now. See you soon. And so it is. you.